Alright guys, Ivan here. In today's video I wanted to do something new. So I'm gonna make this kind of series. I'm gonna make an episode 1 of If Gods Were Mortal. That's gonna be the name of it, and I'm gonna choose my personal favorite physiques of all time. I'm gonna try to find some really good quality photos and I'm gonna comment on them. So let's just cut to the chase, let's not waste any time, and let's begin with this first photo that you already see. It's abs and thighs. It's potentially his weakest pose, especially in the later years. But in the 2011, he was pretty good at all of the poses. You couldn't say he had bad poses. He was just so good that you couldn't deny any of the poses. His waist looked narrow, his legs looked full and shredded and separated. The inner part was connecting and it was so meaty. Abs were prominent, you could count them. The belly button was looking nice, aesthetic. His obliques weren't popping out too much. The lats were very obvious. You could see the huge arms here. The chest was thick and the conditioning was there. So it was also a very good pose for him. Although it's probably his weakest pose, if you could say that he had a weak pose. Let's go with the next pose. Also probably his second worst, maybe even the worst. This is just the front lat spread. This is probably not the best way to hit it. It's front lat spread, not front arm push, whatever. So you shouldn't push your elbows in front, but that's what he did because that's what kind of genetics he had. He had very dominant arms, and still he does, of course. That's his genetics. So he wanted to show his strengths, and he would overpower his lats and everything pretty much with those arms. So that's not the proper way to hit it, but you can't say this looks bad. This looks amazing. This looks great. This looks, I don't know, mind-blowing if you ask me. These arms are insane. The forearms are popping at you. They're gonna jump out of the screen, and everything is looking great. Everything is tight and shredded and peeled. Just perfection. So let's go with a bit stronger pose. Also not one of his best poses. Why is it not the best pose for him? Well, because in this pose you are supposed to show the V-taper as well, not just the biceps. Yeah, it's called front double bicep, but you should show the V-taper, you should show the narrow waist, and then you need to show the lats going out of the waist and then showing the arms and everything. But his shoulders were too narrow. But still, those biceps are looking super separated, the triceps are popping, the chest looks so hard and thick, and everything is there, so you couldn't say this is weak. He had no weak poses, all the poses of him were perfect. And now we're gonna see a very strong pose for him. That's side chest. Why is this pose so strong? Obviously because of his bulging chest. His chest was so full and so massive, it's insane. This 3D effect just showed some crazy thickness of his chest. Also his hamstrings looking very good. Everything is separated and firm and thick, and I don't know, just is mind-blowing, guys. And then he would do this, so he would usually do this kind of variation. After he does his chest and bicep, he would flex his tricep. And is this good for him? Some people would say it's not, because he shows a very big stomach. I wouldn't say bubble gut, because I don't really like that word. But yeah, he maybe it's not the best pose for him, but still he's showing insane arm development. And again, he's just trying to show his strong points, and that's his arms, in his case. And the legs are great, quads are popping, hamstrings are there. Just amazing, just amazing. And now, so here is the pose that's gonna make you or break you. And in 2011, this was his call shot. So before this year, he was known for having a weak back because of his narrow shoulders. And it was all about his back, whether he's gonna progress in that matter, whether he's gonna bring a good back or not. And when he turned around, everybody was certain that he's gonna take 2011. He showed us an amazing back development. His back looked so crazy, so thick. It was just amazing. I mean, you couldn't say it was bad. You couldn't say it was shallow or weak or whatever. It was so deeply separated that it was just amazing. It was so deep, and it showed width, and with this narrow waist, with this cut glutes, and with those hamstrings, probably the best hamstrings in the world, and also the thick triceps, it just looks amazing. And he would always make this kind of transition. So from back lat spread, he would go with his arms up, and then he would hit lights out back double bicep. And this was lights out. Everybody was done after this. So this was pretty much game over. When you saw this, you would know you are done. You just can go home. You won't win. There is no way. His waist is so small, his lats are popping, his lower back, spinal erectors are firm, his traps, all the way from the top to the bottom, everything is just extremely developed, firm, thick and dry and shredded. I don't know, just perfect. And then we're coming to the almost his one of his most dominant poses, not the most, front relaxed pose. You can see his lats very good in this pose because his chest is not too wide, so he's not hiding his lats, and his arms are just in this pose you can't really show too big of arms, and his arms are just huge. So you can see that his arms looking great, and this pose is also very good for him. But now we're coming to his strongest pose. Oh my God, look at this, guys. Look at this and admire it. Let's stop the planet spinning around. Let's stop the world and let's just admire for 1 second. Seriously, look at this. Look at this. So deep, so 3D, so full, so shredded, peeled. I have no words. And this other variation with closed hands, even better, even better. Look at this. His shoulders are popping, his chest, everything is so round, everything is so firm and shredded and dry. This is just amazing. This is outstanding. This is something that we never saw. This is a new level. This is a new level. And this is how gods will look if they were mortal. All the best, guys.